one thing about me, I like direct, either be nice or be nasty. Hello, friends. We're back for Black and Curious. I'm Kandrin.
What up? It is Deja. How y'all doing?
Hello, hello. Never been here before. Welcome. We do a cross section of pop culture and real life. We also cover reality TV. We're here multiple times a week. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and drop down and subscribe and like the video in advance. Today, we are talking Married to Medicine, which has really become a disappointment.
I mean, the last two episodes have been okay. Um, I feel like they hyped up having Phaedra on the show too
Mm,
much because she
maybe.
hasn't given us anything. So those of us who were huge Phaedra fans from the RHOA days came in ablazing to see her, be on this show. And she's been funny here and there, but like a lot of it, she's just been mute.
Well, because I think this show does center couples and it's hard to, and I think Quad was able to exist with the couples because she had relationships with them and we saw her develop relationships with them as a part of one of the couples.
Mm-hmm.
So Phaedra is kind of coming in cold and we don't really have a connection to her, and her connection was Quad and Quad isn't there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that the failing is that Quad isn't on the show. I think that's Phaedra's failing for the show.
Hmm.
I've been saying that though. I don't think Phaedra has someone to play with. She has to have someone to bounce off of. And these women
Yes.
aren't they don't have the same kind of humor as her. Whereas I can see her and Quad kind of bantering back and forth. She doesn't have that relationship with any of these women.
But the thing is, even when we were introduced to Phaedra as a part of this cast, and there were the moments between she and Quad, it didn't really give what like it wasn't gonna be a Portia and Phaedra.
No,
It
it was
wasn't
never going to
gonna,
be a Portia and Phaedra, but it
or even
was
a
going to
Portia and
be
Candy.
right. But it was going to be like
Not
these
Portia and
two,
Candy, Phaedra and Candy. Sorry.
yeah, these two crazy girls show up to this married people show and mischief ensues. Like literally, Phaedra had Quad rolled out in a casket. No, it's not like funny, but it was a mess and it was like chaotic and it was like two over the top people causing mischief and mayhem. Phaedra is the reason why Quad ended up at Sweet Tea's Bachelorette. Like it's these two big personalities coming to shake shit up. And
Hmm.
unless she has someone to bounce off of, she's kind of gonna fall flat because she doesn't really want to share herself that way. And also she doesn't have relationships with these women. Like I feel like it's how when you have a friend of, right? Maybe she should have came on as like a friend of for a season. Like it's hard to transition a new housewife into the mix. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like a lot of times you come in the first season as a friend of, and then you get transitioned to full time because the friend of lets you make relationships with the main cast. She never had relationships with anyone other than Quad.
Hmm. But so I feel like her on this show, she basically was a friend of. Outside of her having the confessionals, like what constitutes a friend of? Because that's what we got with Phaedra.
The person that's on the top billing, and she is in the intro credits. That's
Oh,
the
I don't think
difference between
I never paid attention to that.
okay,
Because I
yeah, that's
remember
the
like
difference between
Tanya Sam was a friend of. I wonder if since Portia is back this season, this is an aside, ain't got nothing to do with it. I'm just thinking right now. But since Portia is back to RHOA, if Tanya is gonna be back on the show because she ain't with Homeboy no more.
I don't think so. I don't think she's gonna be back on there. I'm not sure if they're still friends anymore.
Oh, well,
I
you
don't know.
might
I
be
don't know
right.
that they aren't. I'm just saying like it seems that Tanya kind of like blew everything up, blew up Portia's like spot or whatever for the Bolo trip. Um I wouldn't mind seeing Phaedra back on Real Housewives of Atlanta, which I've seen is speculated a couple of times.
Hello,
Like
right. I'm
now that
like, now
Candy isn't
that,
here, then Phaedra can come back.
hello, and that's been the conversation since what you call it, Nene is not going to be there. It's been confirmed in our last conversation when we talked pop culture that she's not going to be there. So maybe they will snatch Phaedra from Married to Med and put her back in her roots because she don't really fit
She doesn't
in this
fit.
group,
Mm-mm. She doesn't fit. Mm-mm. Um, Apparently Apollo's gonna be on the reunion,
which was crazy to me because
according to people.
why, like, why would he be on this show if you all are not together? What is the purpose?
And you've made zero appearances. Like, okay, I
So
know
why would you come to the reunion?
I dragged Toya for saying this, and I stand by it. Like, if you were going to show up anywhere, you would show up at your son's party. Like, why are you coming to the reunion when you haven't been anyplace else all season?
That part. But
We don't need to hear from you.
Heavenly, down to her after show with Carlos King, Heavenly basically alludes to Apollo giving us some sort of background tea as to what all is going on with Phaedra, and him being there. Heavenly is basically saying that like they needed him and she would like for the both of them to be on next season to basically add to Phaedra's story. And I'm like, we don't necessarily need him to add to her story. She just needs to be on the right show. And I don't think
And
that
let's
this
be
is it.
honest, like, yes, Apollo was a part of the show, but he was very much an like accessory to Phaedra. And when he went to prison, we were just fine without
That's what I'm
him.
saying. She needs to be back in her roots where she belongs.
I don't think she's right for
Housewives
this
of
show.
Atlanta.
I liked her with Quad, and if Quad was going to be on, I liked them together. But by herself, I don't think she's right for this show because I mean, she isn't even like pressed to get married. Like her whole,
She said she don't want to be married.
right, and that's what I was getting ready to say. Like her whole, every time, even on the couples trip or on the what do you call it, the yacht that they were boating around on or whatever, like her whole thing was, I don't really want to be married. Like I don't want to get married. She was kind of like, oh, the other women are making their husbands plates, and I'm glad I'm not married, and I don't plan on doing that again. Like,
She said, mm-mm.
so it would be fun if she was like in search of a husband, and maybe they were introducing her to people or whatever. Which I think they tried a little bit with Heavenly at the little function at Damon's function, but like,
Mm-hmm.
I, she should is this the wrong place for her?
Totally agree.
I stand by my
Um,
Phaedra fandom, though. I am a Phaedra fan.
Same. I've
Um,
enjoyed what bits of her that we've gotten, but for the most part, like I said, it's been flat.
yeah.
Um, Toya's gripe with Heavenly. Talk to us about that.
Yeah. So Toya just seems to have it out for Heavenly in terms of this whole thing with Dr. Jackie and saying that, like, that Heavenly is fighting Jackie's battles. And I don't think she is. I think Heavenly just likes to fight. Like, and she is just one of those people that she's going to be loyal to you. And that's what it is. Like, I don't think that Jackie called Heavenly up and was like, hey, here's what I need you to do. Like, or that they were even on the same page. You know what I mean? It was very much giving Heavenly called Jackie and was like, well, if you ain't going, I ain't going. And like,
I
like
mean, loyalty. If ever there was a person to be the representative of it, it's damn Heavenly.
it was kind of that. So like Toya has this gripe that she just thinks that Heavenly is doing Jackie's bidding, and I don't think that's true. She actually
Mm-mm.
addressed this on Watch What Happens Live too when she was on with Karen, when she was kind of like, dude, I don't need anybody to fight my battles. That's just how Heavenly is.
Hello, I'll never send Heavenly to do nothing. The Heavenly be them ran out and did X, Y, and Z, and I'm like, hold on, wait. I think she's also said that too. Like, I can't stop Heavenly. Like, I have when I've tried, it don't work out.
Like once she get going, she's on your ass. So I'm not getting ready to get that train started. No, thank you. You know?
Yeah,
Um, so we see Sweet Tea lose it on Jackie.
girl,
So
that damn sweet tea. I just no.
Jackie and Curtis finally do show up. We talked about this a couple of our reviews ago, where they were
Hmm.
kind of like, we're not gonna go and blah blah blah. Or Curtis is like, I'm not comfortable, so we're not going. We see Simone call Jackie and like, hey, are you coming? We're getting ready to leave. You guys coming? And they're like, no. Still doesn't want to go, whatever, whatever. So Jackie finally does show up, and they're kind of like the group has agreed, minus one.
Toya.
No, minus Sweet Tea. The group, for the most part, has agreed that to leave the past in the past. Like, we're not going to be dredging up this stuff with Curtis cheating and all of the things, right? So Sweet Tea is like, well, why does she get protection when she talked about, whatever situation happened while he was married to Quad, while Dr. G was married to Quad? Why should we have to walk on eggshells about Jackie's stuff?
Yeah,
And
but Toya said that too, is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Well, I took it more so from Sweet Tea. I didn't catch it from Toya. Um, but it tracks for her because we know how I feel
Hmm.
about Toya.
I think Toya was the
Um,
one that literally said that, like, we get to talk about everybody else's marriage and what has gone on in their relationships, but we don't get to talk about Jackie's. And then Sweet Tea picked up the ball and ran with it. Like,
okay.
how is that fair? Yeah, Toya is the one, because I think even somebody in the confessionals, I don't know, I don't remember if it was in the confessionals or if it was on Heavenly's after show, but basically they were saying that, like, Toya put the battery in
Mm,
Sweet Tea's back
mm,
because it wouldn't have been that serious. She might have been upset about it and probably could have come and said, hey, I feel this way about what all you were doing. But because it was hyped up like that, she was 10 times angrier than she should have been
yeah.
with Jackie, of all people.
And my thing is, like, I take Sweet Tea's point that if you're gonna talk greasy, then so am I. Like, I get it. But also, I kind of feel like Jackie was there for that stuff that was happening with Dr. G, and Sweet Tea hasn't been around that long to be able to talk about the cheating. She don't know
Mm-hmm.
what's going on. She didn't know, she wasn't there during that time. So like you're kind of speaking out of turn a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Um yeah, I just felt like she was kind of like
But
you
not
weren't
only that, it's a thing of, I don't really think, like, Jackie might have been poking fun at Sweet Tea about her marrying an older man and being in the house that he was in with the previous wife, right?
no, it was about something about a girlfriend or some girl showing up at a hotel room with Dr. G.
Oh. But either way, that aside, like, Jackie never said anything out of the way directly to Sweet Tea. She might have made like little jokes about the house or whatever. The thing about the girlfriend, I missed that part. I didn't know
Mm,
that that's what she was alluding to.
it
But
was,
I just
yeah.
kind of felt like, even still, um while you might have taken that as a shot, that's something that actually happened in his previous marriage, so it could very well happen to you. It was the point that Jackie was trying to make, and also knowing that she herself has been in a situation where her husband was caught at a hotel with another bitch.
Yeah. Also, okay, this is maybe a little bit of a stretch. I feel like when people have resolved to move on from cheating in their relationships, you just gotta let them. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
don't think you can, I think it's a low blow to kind of keep bringing that up because, like, you're literally, that's something that really affects people every time you raise it. You know what I mean? And like
Mm-hmm.
them even showing up to that environment is obviously like raising the issue. So you bring it in, like throwing it in their faces. Like, I don't know the point of that. If there was other things that they wanted to talk to Jackie about, I'm like, all right, go off. But I don't know. Something about that was just like, I don't know if that was your turn, sweet tea. Like, there's so many other things you could talk about. I don't think that one was your turn.
Mm-mm. my
I will
issue
say
with
though, oh, go ahead.
my issue with last the previous week before this Sunday's episode is, where is your home training? You are a Southern girl. Where's your home training as it relates to your elders? Like, by all means, if you have an elder that's disrespecting you and you feel disrespected by them, then you can let them know how you feel without speaking to them in the way in which she did. Upset or not. There's a better way to do that shit. I'm
I have
sorry,
mixed
because Jackie is old enough to be her mother and young enough young old enough to be her grandmother. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like there's no way I'm gonna talk to somebody of my mother's age the way that she spoke to Dr. Jackie.
I don't know. I have mixed feelings about that. That part I have mixed feelings about just because I'm like, they're coworkers. It's not like they're friends or in relationship with each other. At the end of the day, they're
But
coworkers.
even working with as someone who has, and surely you have too, but like working with women that were old enough to be my grandmother and or this is like back in the day, be my mom. You know what I'm saying? I no, there's no amount of I'm this upset that I'm gonna speak to you in this fashion in your face like that.
No,
That's
I
just
agree.
like
I agree with
lack of
you
home
based on how
training.
I live and like how I am. I agree with you. Even like the older women at my old job, especially not the all of them, but the older black women at my job, I'm still calling them Miss such and such and Miss so and so. Like
Yeah.
very, very much
Not
that.
unless
The
they've
other
told
ones,
me
first
not
name
to.
only. But Miss such and such, the older Caribbean woman, she's getting a miss on the front. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And it just looks like, and I can understand that she lost herself. She was upset. She was frustrated. But like, was it alcohol involved? Because
I'm sure there was. There's always
what the
alcohol.
hell? Like, it went from 0 to 100 so quick. And
Yeah.
like, girl, are you okay?
Yeah. But
There's just
also,
no, there's no
I'm
excuse for
gonna
that.
take up for Sweet Tea lightly in this situation. Well, more than lightly. I don't
No.
like how they talk about her age, but they don't want them to talk. They don't want her to talk about theirs. So Jackie did address this also on Watch What Happens Live of saying like, I don't like people talk about being old, but God willing, you get to be old. And I kind of agree with that. Like when Jackie was responding to Sweet Tea, she was kind of like, okay, baby, okay, darling. Like she was kind of very patronizing to her. And I'm like, you can't treat her like
But
that and then not want it to come. You know what I mean? Like that would piss me off too.
so here's the thing. I disagree with that because I
I
feel
don't I
like
don't like that stuff.
that is Jackie's way of speaking.
No,
She
she
talked
was
to
being
everybody
nice
that way.
nasty. She was being nice nasty.
And here's the thing: I don't disagree that she had some nice nasty in there. But when they were sitting there, and Sweet Tea said, "Well, why shouldn't you be in the hot seat when whatever she said to her?" And Jackie at that point was very direct. It was no baby and sweet and whatever all that other stuff. She just went straight at it. But Jackie's personality is to be like baby girl this and sweetheart that or whatever the case may be. Because she's the same thing with Quad. That's
She
how
was
she used to
being
talk to Quad.
There is a tone, there is a attitude. It's like when who was it? I feel like it was Heavenly that was calling somebody little girl. And it's like it's
Heavenly be
that
calling Sweet
energy.
Tea little girl.
Was it Sweet Tea? It was
Yeah.
that energy that she was it was almost like she was calling her little girl. And I'm like, that's not okay either. Y'all are on this show together. That is rude. That is also rude. Like, yes, her calling you old or whatever she was saying, that is rude, but it's also rude to be treating her that way. I didn't like that either. And when she was doing that nice, nasty thing with Sweet Tea when they were in conflict, I was like, no, that would have pissed me off and sent me over the edge. If I wasn't already over the edge, that would have sent me over.
Uh,
This thing.
I'd have paid that shit no mind.
Yeah, I don't like that kind of
Because
stuff.
that's some old lady shit. That's what they
Well, I don't,
do.
but again, that wouldn't have flown with me because it feels like one thing about me, I like direct, either be nice or be nasty. Once you start being nice, nasty, I don't like that at all. I don't like it at all.
You know what?
Um,
Maybe I am because people have said that I'm the queen of nice nasty.
no. Mm-mm.
Don't bother
I'm
me.
either nice or I'm nasty. I don't do nice, nasty. I don't like that shit.
Yeah, my
Where
homegirl
I'm
used to
like,
say back in the day that
oh,
she would have me be the person that had the conversation with people because I can do the nice nasty, and I'm like,
like,
because it
well,
don't bother me one way or the other. It doesn't take anything away
sweetie,
from me
sweetie,
to like.
no, don't sweetie me.
But it's
We in
also in
conflict.
my. But here's the thing: it's also in my personality to speak that way. You know what I'm saying? So like, Maybe I'm just, I'm a little nice nasty and don't even realize it.
Yeah, no.
Well, no, that's
That
not true. I know that I am,
no
but I
thank
don't
you.
necessarily know what I'm doing. How about that?
No thank you. No, don't nice nasty me. I don't like that shit. But when she said apologies are for you, when she replied to Sweet Tea's apology, like
Funny as
apologies
hell.
are for you, I was like, God damn it. You're never getting
Funny as
forgiven.
hell. Never, never whatsoever. Okay, not by the slightest stretch of her imagination. She is
Yeah.
done for life.
Yeah. But then when
Even
they
down
had that
to,
moment on the yacht, which I felt like
why
she
was
maybe
she
did,
so close?
I don't know, but like she was probably drunk. But like when they had that moment, that felt genuine. That was like a genuine, like, sweetie. That wasn't that nice, nasty tone that she had before.
Child, I felt like that was nice, nasty. I
I
release
didn't
you
think
of
so.
this.
It was
I
kind of like,
really.
okay, let's move on. Let's move on. I felt like it was a let's move on.
That's so funny how people would read things differently. Y'all got to get down in the comments and let us know
Put that
what
in
you
the
thought.
comments.
Do you have a different perspective than the two of us, or are you Team Can or Team Deja? Because I'm just
Yeah.
like, if it was not that the way that she responded to her while they was this close, it's very much a Deja. Like I would do that and be just like, I mean, I release you of it, like, because
But
before
they
she even
hugged,
sat there and talked to T, she told Alicia that, yeah, you couldn't have paid me to have responded to that. No, ma'am.
right. But I felt like in that moment, they hugged, they kissed, they made up. Like that was the moment for that, like those sort of, terms. Versus when you're in high conflict, somebody's pissed off, you start calling them sweetie, they're going to go over the edge. I would go over the edge.
That shit don't mean nothing to me. So I'm just like, I just don't have an understanding of
You
that.
know what
But
it
I hear
is?
you.
I think it's like, do you think I'm stupid or something? I take offense. I don't like stupidity, so I take offense to people treating me like I'm
Trying to,
stupid.
yeah.
So I'm like, are you
Same. I feel
do
you
you
on
think
that
I'm
too.
stupid enough to think that you're actually being nice to me, bitch? Like, I know what this is. I know what this is. Like, no.
But the thing is, like, so boom. Okay, let's have this conversation. If that is the thought process that's spinning in your head, but then on the other side, it's just like, no, this is how I speak. I'm not trying to be condescending. I speak like this, whether we're in conflict or otherwise. That's a personal issue that you're having. That don't have nothing to do with me.
Disagree. Disagree. We can agree to disagree because also we have heard Jackie. Jackie can have a conversation without calling someone sweetness. It's not like she's one of those people that ends every sentence that way.
And I'm not saying that
She,
she
she
does,
does
but
it
that's very much in her lexicon. That's how she
she does
talks
it
as a girl.
deliberately. And you could tell that she was like, okay, you calm down. You're upset, darling, or whatever she said. Like, how cute. You're upset. Like, no, don't treat people like that. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it.
I don't know. I just, all right, baby girl, you got it. Like, that's literally
That
how,
exactly. That is exactly it. That is exactly it. And
but
that is
that's how I
exactly what has
talk.
sent
So
me
I'm
over
like,
the edge. I don't like it's just rude. It's just rude. If
so
somebody is
y'all,
having a
do you think I'm
conversation with
rude?
you, it is
I guess
rude.
I
If
do
if
that.
somebody is irritated with you, it is rude. And it is actually like you're trying to rile them up. That's what it is. Like you're trying to piss them off and get under their skin. That's what it feels like.
That's what it feels like, but that's probably not what it is.
Well, that's
And
fine.
and and whose responsibility is it to manage your feelings if that's even
Sure.
something?
Whatever. We can agree to disagree. Let us know it down in the comments what you think about nice nasty being nice nasty, especially during conflict. Alicia and Kema, let's move on. Alicia
Girl,
and
I'm tired
Kema
of
are
him.
ugh,
Tired
they're
of him.
they're both cringy though. They just
I'm still on Team Alicia that she got with
I'm not.
Toya because it's the second time that she got with her. Like, girl, like the last time it was you're very opinionated too. I mean, just like you. This time it was um definitely, I don't know, that she was making a joke that obviously everybody else caught but didn't catch, in the sense that not everybody thought it was funny outside of Heavenly and Alicia, where she said that your husband needs to put a leash on you or a collar on you and shock
That's not
you or
funny.
whatever the case may be.
That's not
Like,
funny. I don't
that's what I'm
find that
saying.
funny.
I'm not saying that I thought it was funny. I'm saying that everybody, the only people that thought it was her, Alicia and Heavenly. That was it. But to the point of, you can say all these offensive things to Alicia and keep asking all these questions and being like inappropriate because you all obviously don't know each other well enough to be going there with me. But then if I say something to you, then you're gonna sit back and like have the scowl on your face. Like, girl, you're saying things equally as offensive. So at this point, all bets are off.
You know what? Maybe it would have been funny or a joke if we hadn't seen Kima treat her so poorly all of the time. Um, and
I
talk about
mean, them
training
confessionals was not
her
good.
and talk
Him,
about just like I don't cook, like I ain't doing that, or talking about all the stuff that is woman's work. I mean, he didn't say that, but that's basically what he implied.
yes,
Like
he
I don't
did.
do any of that stuff that's woman's work. I'm
He absolutely said
traditional.
that.
Did he?
Yes, girl. And I was like, "Oh, he really said that." I say one of the fellas was like, "Don't say that." I think it might
Yeah.
have been Curtis.
Like
Curtis
all
was
of the
like, "Uh-uh."
like all of the problematic things that she has or he has said, and she has just been like, or has even like gone so far as to say like, yeah, I think like my husband should da 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 and like it's fine, blah blah blah. That's how we run our household. We respect each other. I'm like, girl, I'm not sure he respects you at all.
Girl, and I agree with you on that. Because what the hell? But my concern is that this show could be the demise of their marriage
Absolutely.
because she gonna watch this shit back and be like, you really were doing a lot, especially like them confessionals last night when he was like
Yes.
talking, like muttering below her, like she was loud, but like I'm so grateful for the shadiness of Bravo.
Yeah.
Them producers caught what he said and put it at the bottom.
It was
Like,
like he
what are you
said, I wrote
doing?
it down. It's getting too serious. It's getting too serious. Um, lighten it
Yeah,
up,
keep it
keep it
light.
light,
Yeah.
or
Like
something. It
what?
was while she's trying to tell a story. And I was just like, that was giving Latasha and Rocky vibes of like not too much. But on the other side, when they were talking about at the little couples gathering or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
they were talking about how she just runs through money, and he put an exact figure on how much money she had lost or spent or thrown away in the last few months, and it was
But he
$150,000.
embarrassed the shit out of her in that
That's my
conversation.
point. When it comes to her talking about him, it's like keep it light, not too much. But when it comes time for him to say whatever he's got to say, he's ready to say $150,000. That's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
money, and that's a lot of like embarrassment, and like he doesn't hesitate to embarrass her or say and make digs at her or make say little slick shit
Exactly.
about her, but when it comes time for her to say the same stuff about him or even give him a
He want to
little
be up in
ribbing or a
arms
little
about it.
dig, it's like not too much.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know that I do not enjoy Kimma.
I don't either.
Um, because I feel like while there might be Caribbean and African men who have these beliefs in the world,
Well,
the way that he is like portraying them, it just does not make the culture look good. Because he keeps saying, I'm African and Jamaican, so I'm assuming that like his parents are one is, from wherever in Africa and the other is Jamaican. But like to keep saying this so boisterously, I wonder if there's any commentary that we're missing online from Caribbean and African men basically saying this nigga sound like he's a clown. Like,
um,
don't hold what he's saying does not hold weight in everybody's household.
let me say this. It feels very much like he is a walking stereotype of everything we've ever heard about Caribbean men
Yes.
and African men put together, and he's
Yes.
he's playing it up. So maybe it's not just a stereotype. And as somebody who's watched a great deal of 90 Day Fiance, I don't know.
Y'all get down in the comments and let us know about that if you are of the Caribbean and or African lineage, direct
Which is not
lineage,
saying
not
90 Day
just us
Fiance is
American women.
representative. I know that 90 Day Fiance is not representative. I know that that's
Same.
always the
Same as he
other
is not.
chaotic stuff. However, those two cultures in particular are known for their traditional gender role values.
I I cannot. I mean, mm, I personally speaking, I have dated both uh African men and Caribbean, just to generalize it. And I more so saw the stereotype that he's giving us with the African men that I have dated. But they were not as staunchly rigid as he presumes or like puts himself out there. So
I just find it hard. Like, what trips me out about Kemma is like, you went and found a smart woman to do
and
this.
you want to put her in the house and keep her pregnant and barefoot in the kitchen.
Like, you should have just went and found you somebody like Sweet Tea. But you found a lawyer. I mean, not a lawyer, a doctor, and someone who's in real estate. I'm assuming the $150,000, by the way, was some bad real estate investments that she made.
Yeah, but she also said that he threw a whole bunch of money into crypto that he
Crypto.
lost, and she
And
didn't give us a number.
that's what she was trying to clarify in the confessional now that I'm thinking about it. That's where she was kind of like, "Oh, he made bad investments in crypto," and he was like, "Oh, it's getting too heavy." But you told exactly the number that she lost probably in real estate.
Like, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
And you putting it
Either
in an
we're
unstable
either
market. Like,
yeah. And either, especially like in the last year or so, the market has gotten a little bit volatile. So like she might have bought at the height and thought that it was going to stay up there, and then it came down, and she had already bought and improved, and it could have easily lost 50,000 over 30 properties or whatever. But I'm just like, you know,
mm-hmm.
I don't like one-sided stuff. So I'm like, either we're both going to be protecting each other and not putting the dirtiest of our laundry on Front Street, or we're just going to both put it all out there. But I'm not going to be protecting you while you put me out on Front Street.
Hello.
No,
Basically, you
absolutely not.
shooting her in the back every chance you get. Like the hell? What kind of covering is this? You want to
And
be
then the
covered,
way
but
he
don't want to
talks
cover
about
me.
her, the way he talks about her in front of the men, I don't like that at all.
Mm-mm.
Because again, he is just talking about her all kinds of crazy in front of the men. But in front of the women, she is like, no, he's just joking. Or, oh, no, it's not like that. We respect each other, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, girl, he don't respect you. He
Mm-mm.
don't
None of that's
respect
how he's talking to. But again, like I said, watching this show back, they might be on the ropes if she on this show next season. Or hell, he probably gonna put his foot down and say he can't be on this show because or that
I
they
could
can't be
see
on this
that.
show
I
because
could see
like
that.
all the chaos is gonna ensue because they was on this show and he was talking cash shit.
Yeah. I'm curious to see how this goes next season because yeah. Oh, the last thing I wanted to bring up, I appreciated Toya. I'm actually gonna say something nice about Toya. Can you believe it? So when Curtis was talking about what he wanted from Dr. Jackie or what he wanted her to do better, Toya was like, yeah, but you're married to a doctor. And I appreciated for once that she was able to be like, it's not just man or woman. It's like, I'm married to a doctor and so are you. So you have to understand what the demand is. When Eugene comes home, he wants some time and some space, and I give it to him. So when Jackie
Mm-hmm.
comes home, you have to understand that the same is the case on that side. Doesn't matter that she's a woman, it matters that she's a doctor and that she has been having all day dealing with people and she may just need some time to decompress. So I actually appreciated Toya because she could have used that as an opportunity to be an asshole and she did not. She showed up as a spouse
Agree.
more so than as like a woman or a man. You know what I mean?
Agree. I will say that probably is one of the few times that we have ever seen her speak lovingly, although indirectly, about Eugene. Because majority of
Yeah.
the time it is criticism, it is ridicule, it is jokes at his expense, and like, yes, Toya, you are a beautiful, beautiful woman, but there are plenty of beautiful women in the world. He could drop you and go get one of them.
Yeah. So I actually appreciated that. Then they did their little outings, which I thought were completely uneventful. The women went golfing. I mean, I thought it was a nice twist because we usually see the men go golfing, the women go to do some wine tasting or cooking or something. So they swapped. So that was
Hmm.
fun. Um, well, the idea was fun. Nothing about the actual event was all that fun, but that was that. I actually wish they had have gone to play tennis or something that somebody was already good at, because we know Toya is good at tennis. So that would have been
Do
fun.
we know that she's good at tennis? We know the girl go
Well,
play
we know
tennis
she
all
plays a
the time.
lot. I don't know that
I'm
she's
like,
good, but I know she
it might be
plays.
that she's going to the country club to have a cocktail or two and gossip with the girls.
Probably. But we've seen her at least hit the ball around a little bit and she seemed pretty good. So, anyways, that's that. Um, yeah, let us know what you think about Married to Med. And yeah, we'll catch you next time. Like, comment, subscribe.
Peace out, friends.
Bye.